This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. I used Squarespace to build both Basics with Babish and BingingWithBabish.com. On the sites, you'll find recipes, equipment lists, other news, and updates. All beautifully designed, if I do say so myself. Get 10% off your first Squarespace order by visiting squarespace.com/Babish.
Welcome back to Football Fusion. We're doing another one of these. Sophomore slump. You know, I'm Sawyer. I work here. This is a new show called Football Fusion, where we take a primetime football game and we mash up the cuisines from the two teams' towns to create a snack for that game. What you also need to know is that I can't do it. Never done it, can't do it. Can't cook. I'm worse than you. Cannot cook, okay? I'm doing a cooking show now because this channel is about empowering you to learn how to cook. So if I can do it, you can do it. This time, it's the Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys.
Those have nothing to do with
First thing you think about when you think of Texas.
barbecue.
Mexican food.
Oh.
Barbecue food. In Philly, obviously, cheesesteaks. So what we're gonna do is a brisket cheesesteak con queso. What are we calling it? Smoked brisket con queso Philadelphia style sandwiches. Smoked brisket con queso barbecue cheesesteaks. Cowboy cheesesteaks. Barbecue cheesesteaks.
Texas style.
Yeah. Football. We are gonna slice up this brisket. Jews do this too, so it's not just people in Texas. We have brisket. This is raw brisket. We're gonna put this in the freezer so that I can run it through a slicer. But we're also going to use something from our hometown, Dino Barbecue, cooked brisket that we're gonna cut up and use as well. Thank you, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Cheers. And this we're gonna put in the fridge, then we're gonna cut it up and heat it up later, put it on the sandwiches. Go Bills. Is this right? Is this right? Using a Babish Santoku knife, available on Amazon, we're gonna get started on the toppings. Be it sliced or smoked, brisket cheesesteak con queso requires a jalapeno topping, in my opinion. I've got 4 jalapenos here, and I'm removing their stems, plucking out those spicy seeds, and slicing them lengthwise into 1/4-inch thick strips. I found this to be very difficult, so you'll see I'm taking extreme precaution, cutting as if I've never cut anything before in my life. Kendall noticed this and told me to hold the knife better. She said to choke up, stop holding it so far down. That's actually why Andy designed these knives with that divot at the top, so you can pinch it. Very helpful. Once you've mastered knife work, throw all that stuff you chopped up into a bowl and add 2 garlic cloves. Perhaps I should have mentioned this sooner, but we're pickling these. So you get a cup of vinegar and a cup of water and some white sugar and a tablespoon and a half of salt and get it into a sauce pot and get it simmering. Then you turn off the burner and remove the pot. Now you just pour that sweet hot brine over the jalapenos and garlic and let it sit uncovered at room temperature in perpetuity. Next up is the queso. This is pretty simple. You plop a pound of Velveeta cubes into a pan and toss some chopped tomatoes in there. Don't rush it. It takes longer than you think. More than enough time to chat with your favorite sports journalist, Mina Kimes.
Here's a guy who really wishes there was cheesesteak.
I just wanted to start off by chatting a little bit about your casual rituals. I don't know when or how you'd ever get the opportunity to just chill and watch football, but
Pretty rarely, but yeah.
what are some of your classic hangs?
I have always used watching football as an excuse to eat the things I just don't order at restaurants, like tenders. I wish I was an adult who would walk into a restaurant and order chicken tenders, but I am not. I eat the worst things, man, like loaded nachos, many kinds of wings, mozz sticks, another thing no one ever orders at a restaurant. I eat all of it.
Hell yeah.
I had cheesesteaks at my wedding, actually, because my husband's from Philly.
Sick. Speaking of Philly, are the Eagles legit?
I mean, the Eagles at this moment do look like the best, deepest team in the NFL, which some of that has to do with, I think, injuries on some of the other contenders. Candidly, if the Bills face the Eagles head-to-head, I would probably pick the Bills. Not pandering, it's just...
No. That's what Josh gets us in my mind.
But anyways,
Right.
Eagles, they're good in the trenches, which is... peak dad football thing to say, but they are very good in the trenches. They are very deep. They have a terrifying 4-man rush. They have definitely the best offensive line in football. Just a very well-built team.
Now we're gonna slice frozen brisket. Andy, the slicer?
Yep. You want the slicer?
Can I get the slicer?
It's behind there's doors.
I need to use the slicer.
To just make sure the teeth of the device don't interact. Parts of it that can sever.
All right. I obviously also need you to show me how to do this.
Oh, of course. I get that you guys are doing like fusion. I get it's the name of the show that you want to mishmash cuisines, and that barbecue brisket, cheesesteak, awesome. Okay, but if we're doing your advanced version and you want to slice some brisket, I've never heard of this using raw brisket for cheesesteaks. It's very heavily marbled, very fatty, lots of connective tissue that would be easily broken down by slicing it super thin. I've never heard of anybody using it before. I think it's a really great idea, and it was my idea. So that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
So anyway, the slicer is a devastatingly dangerous piece of equipment. All right. This blade, for some reason, is sharper than any other blade on the planet. I don't know why. So we have a piece of brisket here, and the most important thing with brisket, especially the way we're using it, is we have to cut across the grain. You can see there's like grains, and we have to cut across them. All right? Because if we cut it this way, it's going to be chewy. So, like I said, this will kill you. We want it very thin, though, because that's what you do with cheesesteaks. Woo! That is what I want to see for a cheesesteak. See that? We haven't even cooked it yet, but already it's so thin that everything's breaking down. So once you cook it, it's going to be tender, juicy. You ready? So obviously stay away from the blade. And I shouldn't be doing this, what I'm doing, don't do it.
Okay.
And now go for it and just figure it out as you go.
Ooh.
Isn't that just like the noise and the action? You have to kind of guide it in.
Grab a little extra hunk.
So that way it doesn't get shaved too thinly, because you see it's kind of coming off at the end there.
Yeah, the little push helps.
Oh, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening. Ready? You ready to see something? You ready to see something really, really awful and vile? Oh. Right there, folks.
What happened?
That's where I like to live. It got caught underneath a little bit and just got sort of, it just kept shaving against it.
Wow.
And you end up with that. There you go. I'm gonna keep this for, for a snack, I guess.
Folding it up. So, what did we say we wanted to do with this? Like, how do you cut onions? Andy?
So if you want solider onions, you slice pole to pole. You see? You see? You see? You see? You slice pole to pole. But these guys, these are gonna stay more oniony than onions would otherwise.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
So like this.
I'm just writing a book over here, no big deal. Just call me over any time. I'm not busy. Just writing a New York Times best-selling cookbook. I hope.
I have a baby now that's like 1.5, and like I'm trying to not force it upon him. You know, it's so important to me that he becomes a Buffalo Bills fan that like I just need him to come to it organically. How did sports make its way into your life?
The way I think a lot of most people probably born into it, born into football fandom, born into Seattle sports fandom in particular. It just kind of seeps into your bloodstream. And then when you're a kid, you want your dad to be happy, or your mom, and not, I guess, stomping around after a loss. So you kind of inevitably just start rooting for the same things. I think this is how like gang initiation works as well.
It sounds right. Yeah, that is what I'm going for. Thank you so much for being our first guest. Let everyone know where they can find you.
We don't talk about food, but if you do like football talk, my podcast, The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, who is here, is also on YouTube. Just search my name.
That is cutting onions.
To begin the hot part, throw the onions on a griddle. I think this is a griddle. Pretty sure cast iron is your best bet here, generally. If you want to help the onions caramelize a bit, you can do what Andrew does here and toss some water on top of them while they cook. Andrew is also kind enough to slice the bread for me. We're using Italian rolls for our cheesesteaks, obviously. And he also recommended pulling some of the bread stuffing out of the roll, which, as a man with fat boy sensibilities, I have trouble with, but I understand the concept and no bread was wasted. Don't forget to salt your onions. Also, don't just leave your queso sitting around. Once all that's done, it's time to do the scary stuff. Cooking.
To cook these up, you're gonna wanna go cast iron.
Great.
You're gonna wanna go high heat. You need smoke coming off that griddle. Throw it down, let it crisp, look for like brown stuff happening, and then chop and stir.
All right, so spread it out. Good. Ah! Ooh. I'm doing a really bad job of breaking it up.
For like 30 seconds. Just let it build some crust, some brown stuff.
Can you do it harmony? I can't.
That's haunting. That was haunting. Okay, yeah. Chop that up. Here, you know what? That looks great. Look at those little crusty bits. And give it a harder chop because you gotta really cut those up. Otherwise, you're gonna have long pieces that'll. Oh, you got flame there?
Yeah.
Line that up into 2 sandwich-shaped lines. So yeah, start with onions
Jalapenos.
and cheese.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Oh. Whatever, it still looks good.
That looks good.
Looks like a damn cheesesteak to me. So it's Football Fusion official. Brisket makes for a great cheesesteak.
Good. What can be said?
That's all I have to say about that. The pickled peppers, great move. Got a little bit of heat from the queso and the peppers. The brisket, really fried up nice. A lot like the cheesesteaks that I imagine, like those little crispy bits. It tastes really good.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful fusion of my 2 favorite cities.
2 wonderful places to live.
Nice, dude. Nicely done.
Great, thank you.
I ate more of that than I planned on doing.
Now for the already cooked brisket we got from Dinosaur Barbecue, a place where Andy and I have both had multiple birthdays throughout our teens. So I just sliced this up and threw it on the griddle. Savvy viewers may note that this is not cooking. This is heating up food you bought from a restaurant. As astute as that observation may be, we're in the kitchen. Look at the chopping, and they tasted so good. You'll smoke a brisket one day, for sure. But today, we're watching football.
Do you have your mic somewhere?
What?
Your microphone?
What?
Do you know where your microphone is?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't. I literally can't because you don't have a microphone on.
All right, ready?
You're supposed to wrap it in paper so that it steams.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, nice.
Little wrapping paper finale, love it.
Woo! Cheesesteak Mafia.
Cheesesteak Mafia.
All right, let's see what it
All
tastes
right.
like. It's Tex-Mex. It's Philly. It's Cowboys Eagles.
Sunday. Thanks for your help.
Hey, great job, man.
Did it. Another perfect snack for the game. This worked.
Really good.
You could do it. I did it. Go Bills. Thanks for coming. That was hard. I'm hot.
That's football.
That's football.
Now I know what it's like.
As Rex Ryan says, it's the only sport that takes courage. And that's how I feel today.
Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. They've been a great partner in supporting the Babish culinary universe and bringing my websites to life. From websites to online stores to domains and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for you to build your online presence. They also have SEO tools so that your site is getting found and searched by more people more often. If you want to try it for yourself, you can start your free trial today by visiting squarespace.com/Babish to get 10% off your first purchase.
I just wanted to chat with you about the Buffalo Bills. Being a small market team, there's always the risk that the winds change and we get moved to San Antonio or London. And having that experience with the Sonics, would you be open to the idea of unbanning a fan ownership model? Has that ever crossed your mind?
You always hope that there are like checks and balances for these sorts of things beyond just, it would be wonderful, the idea, I think, if, like the Green Bay model or something was more widely spread for a number of reasons, I think. NFL owners, not always the greatest citizens. Yeah, but we have seen like teams pick up and leave seemingly with no repercussions. Both teams in LA right now, obviously, leaving behind some sad fan bases in their previous cities. The NFL, I hope that they recognize the value of small market fan bases like Buffalo, because maybe it's not, monetarily the most successful team in the NFL, but that is got to be the most passionate fan base that I've encountered, especially when they're angry, but in all situations. And that's so important for a league.